Double-digit inflation? Who do we blame? We're headed towards double-digit inflation, and it's out of control. I've been looking at a lot of charts this morning after I did Mike in the Night this morning to kind of get a focus on where to park a bit of money, maybe just hold a cash position for now, or I've been in oil slowly since upticking past the 63 or $64 barrel mark. I've been in oil slowly on a weekly basis, kind of watching the trend as it goes along. Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are back off of life support, and they're growing. Double-digit inflation, who do we blame? This is a big question on who are they going to point the finger at? Because there's only so much you could cover, there's only so much you could hide, and there's only so much you're allowed to tell the people before they get up in arms. Are they going to restart some BLM riots again? Destroy a few cities? Kind of dissuade people off focus? Do they blame the banks for this? Do they blame... The governments will never blame themselves. So who are they going to point the finger to double-digit inflation? That's the question I'm asking. Because it will come to the point where we get into a tug-of-war of who's to blame. Are they going to blame white people? Are they going to blame unvaxxed people for it? Are they going to blame... Now, you're probably... How are they going to blame unvaxxed people? Well, people are walking off the jobs. People are protesting my body, my choice. And guess what? The economy starts to shut down because you don't have qualified personnel to do the job. Economy grinds to a halt. They blame the unvaxxed. That's how they blame the unvaxxed, right? So I'm just trying to think of ways. Would they blame the housing market? Would they blame the Chinese Communist Party for it? Chinese Communist Party, a lot of cities in English-speaking countries have turned into empty shells, and homeowners got wealthy on paper overnight, but cities turned into like paper, a burning, wrapped up paper bag poop burning on a doorstep, on a porch. So who do we blame? Like, are they going to just keep bailing in and devaluing the currency? Are they going to come around and raise interest rates? Now, if they do raise interest rates, who are they going to blame for that? Do they blame themselves for massive, infrivolous, dangerous spending that they've kicked? Never mind kicking the can down the road, kicking the can down to 3 neighborhoods and 3 generations, 4 generations down to pay for this shit. So who? So who are they going to blame that on? Who are they going to... So that's going to be like... First question is, double-digit inflation, who would they blame? Who's going to be responsible for that? Is it going to be the people that walked off and then bring the economy to a grinding halt? Or are they going to blame... Are they going to, get a few riots going on and take down a few statues? They're looking at taking down the George Washington statue. I don't know in what state it was, but they're looking at taking that down. I'm just trying to think who is to blame here for double-digit inflation. And when that happens, people's wealth evaporates. When your wealth evaporates, who do you blame? So if they raise interest rates, which they should have done long time ago. Now, if they raise interest rates to basically break off the bad debt falls off, and it gets recycled and everything gets back on track in about 4 or 5 quarters, if they raise interest rates a couple of points, like 3 to 5% increase. This way all the bad debt will fall off, and there's a way for it to restructure, and you'll see pretty much almost overnight a correction in things. But who do we blame? Who's going to be blamed for the double-digit? That's kind of important. No one's looking at that outcome coming in. Are they going to blame the government worker? Are they going to blame the government employees? Are they going to blame, there's too much, government is getting too big, so we can't afford to float? Are they going to put the government on strike? Is the government going to go on strike? I'm just trying to think, who the hell can you blame? Like, does the public sector blame the private sector? Do they blame the mom and pop stores that closed down during the pandemic? Or whatever you want to call it. Pandemic is a 26% death rate. But do you blame it on that? What do you blame it on? And that's something that I think that's going to have to come in the next couple of quarters. We're going to have to start, pointing the finger and getting the tug of war. Double-digit inflation, who do we blame? And then once that goes through, if they have to raise interest rates to see a correction, who do we blame for raising the interest rates? Because they're going to make it like, oh, we're going to have to raise interest rates now. So then all the people that do have debt or are servicing debt are going to start pointing the finger at people that, damn you, it's because of you they have to raise interest rates. So who's to blame for the raising? No one's going to look at frivolous government spending. I think Canada was spending like $1 billion a day during, or I don't know what we're in right now, wave 4 or 5. They walked back the Delta, so that is, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. So they walked back a lot of things. So we're in for a very interesting turn of events. Like I said before, I was watching an old Trends in the Housing Market. We're talking about inflation and the price of housing, pricing out the middle class from 2016, where I was watching it. And I said, sit back, get your popcorn, enjoy the show, because it's going to be very interesting time ahead. Simple question. That's all I'm asking. Comment below. Look forward to reading your comments. Get over to Odyssey tonight, Mike in the Night Live with Collins. We'll be discussing, Ricky Spanish wants to come on with an update in a few stocks that he called 5 shows ago that are really on fire right now. And we're going to get a few callers in that have injuries of sorts. Let's find out what's happening on Odyssey Live tonight. Mike in the Night, link below. That's all I'm asking. I mean, am I going to be on the hook for them, for the double digit? Is it my fault? Am I on the hook for them having to raise interest rates? Because they're going to make this into a fighting. They're not going to, obviously, go to the source on why it's really happening. Look forward to reading your comments. God bless. I have spoken.